So these are just some backup examples I like to do. I like to do examples, in case we get done before class ends. So anyway, so here we have this example. Suppose we have a shirt. It was originally marked at $24.95, but it's marked down, and at the register, they're ringing it up. It comes out to $19.96. In other words, there's a discount. It's on sale. So what is the percent discount of the shirt? In other words, what I'm asking is, by what percent did the price of the shirt go down? By what percent did it decrease? Well, remember, you want to calculate relative change, right? It's the ending minus the starting over starting, relative change. As you can see, right? This is the, let me get the laser thing. This is the ending price, ending quantity, I should say, minus the starting quantity. We're dividing by the starting quantity, as you can see. And so we calculate that, right? It went down $4.99, but we want a percentage, so we get this, negative 0.2. We do get a negative here, but remember, that's expected because it decreased, so that's expected. So that's good. So it went down by 20%. Okay. Here's another example. Let's suppose two people are trying to lose weight, so they're exercising more regularly. Anthony and John, I'm just calling them their name. That's the names they use in the book, Okay. Anthony and John. And we want to know, can we determine if they lost the same percentage of weight? This also was not in the notes I sent, but it will be in the notes I post. So can we determine if they lost the same percentage of weight? Well, it turns out the answer is no. And why is that? Well, because we don't know their original weights, their starting weights, right? I mean, they lost 10 pounds, yeah, but we don't know how much their weights were when they started. When you get a percentage, right, it's always is over of, part over whole, right? You're dividing by something. But we're not given whole, we're just given part. And really, to help illustrate that, let's suppose that Anthony's starting weight was 190 pounds. So he lost 10 pounds from there. John's starting weight, let's say, was 155. Again, this is all hypothetical. We can ask, well, who lost a larger percent of their weight now? Well, let's see. For the first one, we're going to calculate relative change each time. For Anthony, right, his starting weight is 190. He lost 10 pounds, so his ending weight is 180. So we have 180 minus 190, which I just wrote as negative 10. The starting weight was 190, and that's this. So he lost 5.3% of his weight, right? We're given basically how much they lost. That's the absolute change. And essentially what A is asking is, can we calculate the relative change? Because if you can calculate the relative change, you can get the percent, but we couldn't. Now we're doing that. Okay. So basically we have that. But now John, his starting weight was 150. Okay, so his new weight is 145. So on top you would have 145 minus 155, negative 10, over 155. And so we get this. So he lost a higher percentage. Basically what I'm telling you is you weren't given enough to figure out who lost a higher percentage of their weight. All right. Okay, that's one example. Here's another one. So, okay, so here, okay, so this one I'm going to want everyone to try out now for a bit, just for like a minute or two. But here you have some woman named Joyce. You know, she paid $84.50 for something, for an item. Okay, I think it's called did I call it a shirt? No, I didn't. And they tell you that that's 35% off the original price, the $84.50. What was the original price? So actually, wait, it was $330. Actually, let's just do this together. So what are they saying? They're telling you that the $84.50, right? That's how much they paid, and that's already 35% off of the original price. 35% off of what? Well, that's what we got to figure out. The what? There we go. So we want to know what was the original price. We don't know what that is. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to call it P. You could call it X if you want. I just called it P. So if P is the original price, they're saying that the amount of discount is 35% of P. So they took off 35% of P. And 35% of something is 0.35 times that something. You know, we saw that last time, right? If you want a certain percentage of something, right, you convert to a decimal and then multiply. That's what I'm doing here. So this is the discount. So the new price then is P minus that, and that's the $84.50. Okay, so what do? We got to figure out what P is. Okay, well, how do we do that? Well, this is just basic, this is actually just some algebra. What you can do is factor out P, which essentially means you're using distribution in reverse, as you can see here. Then you have 1 minus 0.35, which is 0.65. Basically, if I were to distribute P, I would get this. So I'm using that in reverse. And we get P times 0.65, which is the same as this. That's what we get. So from here, right, we have 0.65 times P then is 84.50. Can we get P? Yeah, we can. We just divide, and we get 130. So whatever that item's original price was, it's $130. Okay, that's one way to get it. But if you were to look at this calculation and interpret it, really what we did was we calculated 65% of P. That's what this is. That's what the calculation is telling us. And really, if you think about it, that makes sense, right? If you take away 35%, if you take 35% away from something, you're left with 65% of it. And that's why, well, this is also a check. See that it works? But that's also why we have this other method. Essentially, if 35% is marked off, then we're only paying 65% of the original price. 65% of the original price, if that's P, that's what we're doing here. You know, 65% of something is 0.65 times that something. You know, just another way to see it. So the calculations, as you can see, just, you know, we can get a lot of information from there. So just trying to help it. I'm trying to let you see that. All right. Okay, so we do have some time left, so I figured it'd be good to start chapter 5.